Familia, welcome, welcome, welcome. As always, I'm here with my partner in crime and good, Dr. Daniel Turner-Lloveras. He is heading the coalition of Latino Coalition Against COVID-19, and he's a founding member for it. And today we have a special conversation. And of course, Ilan Shapiro. I'm also part of the coalition, and I'm the Chief Health Correspondent and Medical Affairs Officer for Alta Med. Today we have a great conversation because we are hearing right now that we are almost over with the peak. There's future there. There's light, Danny. There's a lot of things out there.
Finally.
There's good stuff out there. And what have you been hearing out there regarding this?
Right. I think what I've been hearing is people being done, that they are really ready for normal. And I think we've always been ready for normal, right? Like normal has always been just out of reach. And I think now that it's been about 2 years since all this has started, people are really trying to see normal in their daily lives right now. And so I think maybe we should talk about today, how can we live normal without being done, right? Like what does that look like as far as, day-to-day living, interacting with friends and family? How can we do that? What do you think about that?
That's a great question, because a lot of the times we hear again, here comes the masks, and do we need another booster and stuff like that? And I think that we should start talking about what's an endemic state. Pandemic state is that sense of urgency, emergency. We have no idea the virus, whatever. But when you enter an endemic state, you already know your foe. You already know who's your enemy, and you know the general rules on how to defend yourself. And not only that, we can punch them back with vaccines. Then part of the conversation, I think, is to be realistic. That there will be times that we will need more masks, and times that we would not need that many masks in many areas. And there's a couple of things that are the golden rules. If we have a place that it's open, wide, with a lot of ventilations, we're safer. If we're in a crowded space with less, air moving from one side to another and less masks, of course we're getting close to COVID-19. Then, we need to have that conversation.
Yeah, I think that's really a good way of looking at it, because we know what is the best way to prevent the disease. I think it's all been ingrained in us. And some things are more difficult than others, but the outdoor scenario is a good example of, if you're getting together with friends and outdoors is an option, and it's not going to take you out of your comfort zone and still will let you do the things that you had planned to do with your friends anyways, I think that's an easy way to sort of get to the normal without being done, right? Just making those little baby steps or little changes that you would otherwise do to get to plan the rest of your day and have the beautiful day that you had planned out. I think those are little adjustments that we can make to sort of still protect us, protect our friends, protect our families, but still do the things that we want to do. Like that, along with, masks in the right type of scenario. I think masks are going to be around for a while, just because we've seen that, Omicron came out of left field.
And by the way, and after that, I will tell you what happened with Instagram and a video that I did for the Russian and Canadian hockey teams. But you saw how the hockey teams were playing, the female hockey teams in the Olympics were playing with N95 masks.
Oh, I missed that.
For
I missed that.
hours. There was some sort of issue, and one team actually played the entire match with N95s. And whoever tells me right now that, is it fun to have masks? Of course not. Is it the most comfortable thing? No, I actually prefer to see your smile and have that interaction. But the people that were playing there were survivors completely. They didn't fall down. They survived. They didn't have any side effects on the long term. And, yes, it's uncomfortable, whatever, but let's be realistic. If kids can actually do it, us as adults.
Right. I mean, look at what happened with, the NBA, the NFL. There were games that had to be canceled because of COVID outbreaks, and but at the same time, the rules that were applying to them weren't being applied to the rest of the country and in schools. I think we should be a little bit more consistent in how we enforce these rules, whether they're an athlete or whether they are a student or whether they are, behind the scenes in a film. We should be a little bit more consistent in our messaging and try to apply these rules in a way that are not overbearing, but done in a way so that it has the ultimate effect of reducing transmission and preventing further, waves that we can always almost see in the horizon, right?
I think that we'll have, if 2020, 2021 actually gave us some information, is that probably we'll have good moments until July, August. This is a moment to recover. This is a moment to see, the hope and do stuff that we were not doing, and really appreciate the things that we actually are doing. And we're again here filming this. We're doing all the restrictions and all the protocols, all that stuff, but in a different matter. And that's thanks to the things that we know: protection, air, mask, vaccines, and we need to acknowledge that. And also,
Right.
we do not know which variant is going to come.
Right.
We do not know if it's going to come.
Right.
But am I happier right now than 2020? Oh, 100%.
Right.
And am I more hopeful? 100%. Still, we have pending, that thing about vaccines for under 5 years of age. Yes, we, it probably will take a couple months, probably April-ish.
Because the FDA just said, we're going to pause that today.
It was a combined thing. There was as a pediatrician, I can tell you for sure that it was kind of interesting because they applied the same way that they applied in December, Pfizer. And they said, well, 2 vaccines, 10% of the dose of an adult actually work. There's some reaction, there's antibody that are created in the kids. But they are not as high as with other age groups. Then maybe we'll need a third one. Then if you need a third one, why are you asking for the second one? Then, it was like a back and forth. The good news is that we know that it continues to be very safe.
Right.
That's the consistent thing. The thing that the question is here is not if it's safe, if it's actually very effective. That's where the energy should go to right now.
Right. And, on the topic of vaccines and the next phase of vaccines, I really feel like this misinformation campaigns by certain people really needs to be reevaluated. I think that any physician that is caught lying about the vaccine, saying something that is not true, such as the physician in the Bay Area who brought up the whole microchip in the vaccine, he was prosecuted and is only one of 2 doctors that actually lost their license. Because if you think about it, if I'm a doctor and I say, hey, you should take ivermectin and use it for any type of cancer or acid reflux, and then if a patient hurts himself because of what I said, my license would be taken away. Why is that any different if a doctor says, hey, don't take the vaccine because there's microchips, or don't take the vaccine because we think that it will cause your gender to change? If you're caught saying that and it's not true, the vaccine doesn't change your gender, you should have your license taken away, because we know that prevents people from getting vaccinated. We know the people dying right now are not vaccinated. That's an easy conclusion to make, that that person who's a physician just contributed to people dying for no reason. I think that needs to be dealt with quickly, swiftly, and just stop it right now. That's what I think.
I agree, and the interesting part is that each state has a different rules for that, and
Right.
each medical board in each state has a different controller way, and it's going to be quite interesting. The things that we actually know is that we need to move forward. We are not in 2020. We have 3 vaccines that actually work. We have a couple antivirals that are making a difference, and also at least against Omicron, one antibody that it's actually the monoclonal antibody that we can actually use against Omicron. Then,
Right. And 2 oral medications, antiviral work, right?
Then, well, Danny, I think that we'd love to hear the last message for our
I think
community.
I think a good way to end today's conversation is, let's live normalcy, right? But without being done. Let's continue to protect each other without having to live in fear and stop the things that we want to do. But let's keep doing let's do the things that we want to do, but just be smart about it, right?
I cannot say anything else. Then thank you so much for hearing us, and please let us know if you have any questions or comments. Here below you will find an email and also the website that you can actually follow us. Make sure that you continue to ask questions. We're here for that. Make sure that if you have fear, doubts, the worst thing that you can do is just get paralyzed and just wait. That's not the answer.
Don't get paralyzed.
Don't get paralyzed. Then make sure that you go out there and you're following through with absolutely everything. Then have a beautiful day and enjoy.
Until next time.